What you're seeing might resemble a war-torn battlefield, but look closer. The soldiers lie motionless, while something unrecognizable walks among them, armored, silent, and not entirely human. These aren't scenes from fiction. They're echoes of real horror found during World War II. And what follows are 10 chilling discoveries, each more disturbing than the last. Number 10. In 1935, before the war had officially begun, Royal Air Force officer Victor Goddard was flying over an abandoned airfield in Drem, Scotland. The place was deserted, hangars rusted, grass overgrown, not a soul in sight. But minutes later, flying back through a strange storm, something changed. The airfield was no longer empty. It was alive, cleaned, restored. Yellow aircrafts lined the runway, a color the Royal Air Force didn't even use at the time. Mechanics in blue uniforms moved between the planes. The scene was crystal clear, yet completely impossible. Years later, during the war, that very airfield was renovated exactly as Goddard had seen it. Same yellow aircraft, same blue uniforms, same layout. He never changed his story. And to this day, no one can explain how he saw the future, inside a storm, or if something led him. Number 9. Night after night, Allied pilots flying over Europe and the Pacific reported the same thing. Glowing orbs trailing their planes at impossible speeds. Red, orange, even metallic. The spheres danced through the sky, swerving effortlessly between formations. Pilots called them Foo Fighters. They weren't enemy aircraft. Radar couldn't track them. Gunfire passed right through them. And worst of all, they showed intelligence, reacting, observing, sometimes even interfering with controls. Some thought they were secret Nazi tech. Others believed they were American experiments gone wrong, but neither side claimed them. And they were never recovered. Official reports exist, testimonies, flight logs, even drawings, but no answers. Whatever these things were, they weren't from this war. Number 8. During the North African campaign, a British soldier was struck in the head by a bullet. Miraculously, he survived. But when he woke up 3 days later, he wasn't the same. He couldn't remember his own name, didn't recognize his comrades. And the strangest part? He spoke fluent French. His fellow soldiers swore he had never studied it. And the doctors were baffled. Some blamed brain trauma, others called it a savant episode. But the man himself said something else. He remembered being in a city with no faces, under a black sky. He claimed it wasn't a dream. He had been somewhere else, and when he came back, he wasn't alone in his mind. Number 7. D-Day, June 1944. Hundreds of Allied paratroopers dropped into the dark skies over Normandy. Most reached the ground. One doesn't. Witnesses saw his parachute open. They watched him descend into a dense patch of forest near Sainte-Mère-Église. But when his unit reached the landing zone, there was nothing. No body, no gear, just his parachute, still hanging from the trees, uncut, untouched. Search teams combed the woods for days. No footprints, no drag marks, no enemy contact in that area. It was as if he had vanished in midair. Some said the forest took him. Others didn't say anything at all. They just avoided that patch of trees from then on. So far, we've uncovered stories of pilots who saw the future, glowing orbs that chased warplanes, a soldier who woke up speaking a language he never knew, and a paratrooper who vanished without a trace. But the deeper we go, the darker it gets. Because what comes next doesn't just haunt the battlefield, it haunts the dead. Number 5. In the days after the Normandy landings, soldiers reported strange movements in the misty fields near Caen. One night, a patrol spotted a lone figure standing by the tree line, uniformed, motionless, facing them. They called out. No answer. They raised their rifles, and that's when they realized the figure had no head. When they advanced, the figure was gone. No tracks, no body, just silence. Some dismissed it as trauma. Others swore it happened again, always in the same spot, always around midnight. Veterans later said the land itself felt wrong, heavy, like something unfinished still lingered. Number 4. In the suffocating jungles of Papua New Guinea, Soldiers weren't just fighting the Japanese. They were fighting the jungle itself. Near the Sepik River, a group of Allied troops set up camp. During the night, they heard branches snapping, followed by screams. When they reached the perimeter, they found two men slashed open, their bodies dragged through the mud. Tracks led to the river, but they weren't human. Massive clawed footprints, deep and wide. Then nothing. No blood trail, no animal. Some said it was a crocodile, but those who saw it said it moved like no reptile they'd ever known. Bullets didn't seem to stop it, and in the following weeks, more soldiers vanished. No bodies, no noise, just gone. They started calling it the thing from the river, and they stopped camping near the water. Number 3. In the thick forests near the Ardennes, Allied forces were moving cautiously. Ambushes were common, but this time, the threat didn't come from the enemy. A scout team reported seeing a strange unit of soldiers marching silently through the trees. Their uniforms didn't match any known army. No insignias, no visible weapons, just gas masks and silence. When a patrol was sent to investigate, they never returned. Reinforcements searched for days. No signs of struggle, no shell casings, no blood, nothing. Even their radios went dead, as if they'd walked into a different reality. Some officers tried to cover it up. Others quietly removed the forest zone from future mission maps. Soldiers began calling it the Mist Route, and no one volunteered to go there again. Number 2. Amid the ruins of Monte Cassino, after weeks of brutal fighting, Allied forces captured a young German soldier. He was barely 19, but something was wrong. He spoke fluent Latin, though no one had taught him. His voice changed tone mid-sentence, deeper, raspier, almost inhuman. He muttered phrases backwards, resisted holy symbols, and screamed about something sleeping beneath the monastery. A military chaplain was called in. What he witnessed shook him to his core. The soldier convulsed, spoke in multiple voices, and begged not to be left alone at night. Doctors claimed it was shell shock. The chaplain thought otherwise. He later wrote, "Whatever spoke through that boy was ancient, and it hated us." The soldier died a few days later. No wounds, no trauma, just silence. We've seen vanishing patrols, ghostly figures, and voices that didn't belong. But the most disturbing discovery didn't whisper or vanish into mist. It stood in plain sight, in bright daylight, wearing a doctor's coat. Number 1, when Allied forces liberated Nazi camps in 1945, they expected death. But what they found was far worse. In places like Auschwitz, Ravensbrück, and Dachau, soldiers entered underground chambers and sealed medical blocks. Inside were victims, still alive, but broken beyond recognition. Children with mismatched limbs, twins surgically fused together, eyes sewn shut, bodies frozen and thawed, over and over. Some couldn't speak. Others couldn't stop screaming. Rows of jars lined the walls, filled with organs, fetuses, even severed heads. And detailed records, handwritten, described each procedure like a scientific milestone. The men behind it, doctors, educated, calm, smiling in photographs. Some were tried at Nuremberg, others escaped, and lived long, quiet lives. But the soldiers who opened those doors never forgot what they saw, because evil didn't hide in the shadows. It wore a name tag. World War II left behind horrors that still echo through history. But it wasn't the first time soldiers stumbled upon the unexplainable, because decades earlier, in muddy trenches and ruined villages, something else was watching. And what they found during the First World War was just as terrifying, if not worse.